Hey guys, welcome to the 81st Animated Girls Profile Confidential. And today we're going to be talking about a very new character that debuted in the final episodes of the first season of the Animaniacs 2020 revival as part of the Pinky and the Brain segments. And that is, of course, the character of Julia. And Julia, from what I understand, and from what people have said, was created by Brain in another attempt to try to take over the world. And the reason she was created was because he wanted a first lady by his side, because they were actually rehashing, from what I can tell, another Pinky and the Brain story from back in the original, when he tried to run for president there. And the episode for this one, it's a parody of the Magdalene candidate. I can't pronounce the name right, but it's called the Mouthscorin candidate. And basically, like I said, Brain created Julia. She was just a normal lab rat, and he decided to create her, genetically alter her to be his first lady. Unfortunately, Julia proved to be more popular with the people than Brain, and from a fan's perspective, she became instantly likable. And the end result, not to give much away, is, according to a lot of people, she has become somewhat of a, towards the end of the short, she's become somewhat of a hybrid of two characters from the original. One was a rival to Brain called Snowball, and the other was a love interest who actually fell in love with Pinky called Belle. So basically, at the end of the episode, she becomes somewhat, in the eyes of some fans, she becomes a hybrid of both. And the episode just ends there. It kind of leaves you with a bit of wonderment of like, okay, if we're going to see her again, what is her role going to be? Is she going to be like Snowball and wanting to conquer the world just as much as Brain? Or is she going to be the exact opposite? Is she going to be a genetically altered character with a glitch? Because she does end up having a bit of a glitch in her, because what happens, from what I understand, is Brain, is just frustrated with the fact that she has become more popular with the people. The people would rather have her as president, stuff like that. That he tries to take control of her will again, but because of the fact that she's become so free, she's developed her own independence, that she's able to fight it off. But there ends up being like some kind of an aftermath to that, consequence to that, and that consequence is she retains her intelligence, but she ends up developing this glitch, which kind of like, it's like a twitch to her. It's kind of like a twitch that just comes out sporadically, and that's basically, like I say, where the episode leaves off. She's basically, in the eyes of a lot of fans, a Snowball / Belle hybrid. That, again, we don't know if we see her again, if she's going to be like Snowball and wanting to take over the world herself, or is she going to be the exact opposite, and she's going to be a genetically altered lab mouse that is just as smart as Brain, if not smarter, because maybe later on Brain figures out, hey, when he tried to take control of her again, that basically, she gained not only did she retain her genetic intellect, but also she has the ability to like go back and forth from like her genetically altered state to a regular field mouse. So, anyway, like I was saying, she retains that ability to transition from a regular field mouse back to a genetically altered self. So, anyway, long story short, like I said, the episode ends with her spying on Pinky and the Brain, and basically plotting probably against them. But again, the question is she going to be like Snowball and wanting to rival Pinky and trying to take over the world? Or is she going to be like a genetically, what I was trying to say, is she going to be that genetically altered lab mouse that is like Belle, and she is going to use her intellect to foil Brain's attempts until maybe we get a confrontation, and perhaps it gets revealed that Brain has had this, is basically, I think maybe it's alluded to here in the new one, that he's out, that the reason he wants to conquer the world is he wants revenge. He wants revenge for being, treated the way he is, as a regular mouse. I don't know. Or maybe it's just a dream he's had since, he was genetically altered himself. Like, hey, what if kind of deal, a mouse could rule the world? And maybe he's has grown too ambitious to realize that, hey, it's just a pipe dream. It will never be, despite how smart he is. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be her role, if she's going to be, the foil to him, to where instead of trying to conquer the world herself, that she's going to basically be the one that stops him. And maybe we get a story or an episode where his Brain realizes that the only one smart enough to stop him is someone just as smart as he, and then all the dots connect. We don't know. But she's definitely, in the eyes of a lot of fans, have become very instantly likable. Of course, her design and everything, really helps in that department, if you know what I mean. I mean, a lot of people, men and women, have pretty much looked at her as the new waifu, if you will, in animation and in fiction. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting road with this character if we do see her again, because, like I said, they ended the episode on a cliffhanger, with her basically spying on Pinky and Brain, and it looks like she's gonna either try to counter them, trying to take over the world, or she's gonna try to, like I said, be the foil to stop Brain. And hopefully, maybe in story, get Brain to stop, trying to, live out these fantasies, or trying to make this delusional dream of his a reality. I don't know. Because, with her being today in today's PC world, if you know what I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she is the latter. She does become, she does become that foil that prevents him from achieving his goal, or something like that. And then the revelation is made later on that she's been behind all the foil attempts, and that he has to, and that maybe she, even with her glitch, has to make him realize, look, what you're going after, and maybe she gets Pinky to realize this too, that, hey, what you're trying to do is a delusional dream. You just need to realize it's not going to happen. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Julia going forward, but can't wait to see what the next step is. Obviously, this is the only time we see her in season 1. We're going to probably most definitely see her in season 2 next year, and if there's other seasons greenlit for Hulu and maybe even HBO Max, because a lot of people like Black Nerd Comedy, Andre Meadows, thinks that's where Animaniacs will head next after the 2 seasons on Hulu. Who knows? But again, it'll be an interesting road and interesting speculation as to where we'll see Julia show up next. But I just wanted to come on here though, and guys, and just talk about Julia, the new female character in Animaniacs from the Pinky and the Brain segments, which is again being considered now as a Snowball / Belle hybrid, which could either be in competition to try to take over the world against Brain, or could be, today being that PC environment, could be the one that foils him and prevents him from doing it. Who knows? But I just wanted to come on here and talk about her on this 81st edition of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like, and I am out.